And about governance, you need power. About business, you need power. And power is not permanent, but it's renewable. Power is not permanent, it's renewable. Authority is changeable. In the governance of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP, the spirit governing the party is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's spirit. That's governing. So once there's going to be a change, that is a new person coming. There's supposed to be some level of sacrifice. The same way like the NDC, like PPP, the cheddar parties, they also have spirits. And when the year it goes to an end, we have the first quarter sacrifice. What I say? So in the month of June is a month of sacrifice for family. These are the Ankepi kind. Ankepi as a researcher, and yet scientific researcher, so I'm not too one where I go from. It means nothing goes. That's why I am by. That's what Trump could ask. But that's the guy I'm child or one going to about your path. The message mechanism. So in the month of June is dangerous. Sacrifices are going. Maybe who we are not the shame. They say I saw a lot of animals, clamine, pussycats. Any and cocoa a carbo, but I dare be a carbo in the if you want to carbo unconsciously say what about clamine, then you become a victim. And my friend may be in the agro. It's as a John the Baptist saying, Yan Santa Wanka. Nanga Abayan and Bissell Tiama and Chambre Herodis, a one fine day. I told you, or your phone or your own to me in your home. On to me, young, you'll never find your bit in a year or so. On to me, you wait. Now, so on your Juma rally, Ebben, and to your Juma rally bear back, who are you? A branch of the business here or bread. A buy me on any train cross, you only need again, so only need Germany, the chef like Massa 1 year. Look out in the subboard, Sebio, name Basocatches, a way of living my mind, Sebio, be a family. Near the son, Shebra, why am so brother, we are in about 2 6 years. Why should I call by a fact? Well, my nephew, June. We are not going to ostracize and yet promotion and yet demotion and yet by force transfer with no accommodation. And again, the sending audio. You see what I told you? If you are simulating my physics on to me, so a lesser demon that cannot fight you will befriend a higher demon so they can fight you. So in the month of June, you're very, very careful because it's a month of sacrifice. Yeah, so for a sacrifice, a DC for a sacrifice. A criminal sacrifice, presidency sacrifice, a nation sacrifice, communities sacrifice. While check the month now, so it's a month of sacrifice. No be amfao and yet sacrifice. The son said, King, any ever in I sacrifice, madam. One day in the Namije, or the ever there. Nakadia Namije, the so one whom I wa, but Nakopa didn't be a Ken in your friend said, "Could I don't need your ability?" Yankupon said, Ken and near Muna, when Muna and him, he has evil in his mind. But Abel didn't see the evil in the mind of Cain until Cain killed Abel. And the only legacy that Abel had on earth was his blood speaking. But even Cain, who killed Abel, made properties and had children. So Shana Pasabia 550 pesos about the young cool is that I won't give you every fake man of God has a fake God. It's a month of sacrifice. And if you are entering into June, don't just clap your hands. I mean, a 6 months or when you go to nice. And I'm one way and Crawford Juma. Mom for any be any Emma and Crawford about mutually. I said, you'll be a dear check. Will be fine check. The Kunia in the Munya careful. Me can't be can't say yes, a Jumana, I shall say. Met you say, yes, see. Mrs. Fela McAfee, medical year. May say, see, Nedjuman sends some FDA and some bad in a medical report statement. I just want to be sure. Say a young papa, dear. Is it medical? They can't say, yeah, they tunnel and yet drove beyond on there. Now, or call taking or call ye.
I tell you about FDA for me.
And I do not say,
was a taking in the end, if we are in the buy.
Why?
If we medical in the buy, say, Wapoya.
Now, a year drew now or the tone, and I'm for the digits, so I went to told you. Because you told no move for bar. Who here drawing exercise and maintaining you? Yes.
There's every now quick maintain.
No, you'll be on the prescription. Who call you to a bar? Your mom studio and here. Your hours be a internet also because the tune a fat again. Someone go here. Someone go here. And no baby also be so nya to be answer. Ye nda ya. Said you see you cry you are sorry tell that will change. Ye nda ya. Oba da ya bi anya to. Na be nya to na ye ayi bai. Una ayi bai.
There was all that said.
You bet that halfway.
Halfway.
We will be under say nothing now halfway. Manage your halfway sleeping. This angles. Everyone to number. Now that's it their own. Scientifically proven who to are the best. The best part also. And Pema Gruana. And Pema Gruana and Tam was out. Say I hear now here. But pressure never on them. I want hear now here. Good must say. Okoye etuli we dia. Definitely, you know, your man nyame soil, some exercise, some food, and some medication.
When the American say they are a position and also get to be present, I could take you.
Yeah, the take it they are never be. You need a lot of medical. Now, go away, Ghana, and also go and take you. And so maybe I would this can only take it in a G's can. Yeah, Ghana. Kolibu, baby, share, yeah, Kolibu, start you. New food a song a year reduce you food a song not be Tommy tag being in our Columbia here. Like we say, she ain't calling da. Oh, any young for the new shall go for me. Put so big cassette here at 20 before you young. Said that they gave you we get dear Barbie. It says a wow, jeans I will talk. Jeans.
What's a stamp on all about millions?
And you will say, who come no, Bivia, and shreddy fat. And yet, to the beer, then you and Dada, a shreddy, but the number of years they may take you. And a quantity of it, man, I'm aware the physical effect in yourself. Because you trust less, and there, a mass and level of enlargement, a fat there. But fat is shredding, getting, but do not so that and only effective. But what you all should say, doing in your mouth. And yet, to show me a person who feels like a friend, you will do be a bit man, I'm a for X. But the fact that we swallow there, it will not only enhance the breast, part of the hormones in the body will take it. And you know for the X here. Now, body X here, you will not do for anybody in your head, so you don't see it. It is our seven makers as a passable guy. As a husband to fella, as a patrol. Because listen to me, there are trade secrets that when you are living with a partner, anybody who gives you that secret, nothing should happen for you to think that a secret has expired. And if it is as well part of I was thinking, say, if that was a reason, what must I say? I heard it says if medical has apologized to fella for that particular thing. Now, Mrs. I'm pardon why ain't the needful. So the chopper pardon that's why the needful. But all Kai said, I am still waiting for him to apologize to said Dr. Sekwa despite Faraday and not the mother. Because the mother did what the boy is supposed to do. The boy must do what he's supposed to do. Medical. I have a reason why I'm saying these things. So me, I am not a prophet of doom. But I'm saying, say, and come on, baby, for some. And Obi, our family, the Ayabino, on Cassentia, Obi, or till the bed, make no fact of taking advantage of the Obi, why Yati Obi, how are you get out? Akalana, we may say, what do you matter? Eti, Bomodin, number one job. Or even so some pass out career, Pioneer job. The son said, a son said, or you so yes or bad, yeah, oh yeah, won't you drink one? Medical, may say, their medical area, their fellow brothers in your way in they should stop. They are not invited to the marriage because there are things that fella has, fella knows, but she's holding her nose close to her mouth because she decided to make the marriage work. What was here? So if anybody will speak that anybody will go down, fella will never go down. Keep this word. Fella McCaffrey will never go down. Not because she is, not because she's intelligent. But naturally, she's beautiful. One, your beauty opens door and gates for you smarter and faster. So it comes to what she has. If she speaks, the one that will go down will be medical. And you say, well, upper hand be, and I had the be that. And I no, far from that. But I'm telling him what I say. Apology is to a spiritual power and authority. Only the needful. Apologize to Osekwame despite Dr. and Father Dixon for the insult you gave them. As for Shatawale the shrine, let him be where he is. He know where he's standing. Ebe bashe. And I make an issue. KK for Sue as a blogger about who we are. As you be a who feel more. I mean, finding currency. Na car can share the air can share. And then Uncle Focus tell Lewin, there say Lewin per speed. And I say no, a Yansen. Obi nka say Lewin co speed there, but obi any accident. Now try at the asema to say when they see and I a blogger be as you a Lewin blogger. Lewin who turn up, me so ya kwanedi because Saturday accident in the bide or can't they see you and not sure no one can say what can't the necessity will say Lewin card yon muda na Lewin per speed. Look at such a stupid blogger.
Our in a personal
yes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes, your friends are abroad then. How do you speak like this on radio? Saturday afternoon. So you gave people what they should talk about. But the police report has never proven to us this. As for Mamino say eyewitness who will say a car about it. Did you know what happened before the car was coming? Funny face, I didn't see it, then the anchor. And Obia who has to see her. So we should be careful. And when you want to work at him, I didn't hear what accident see KK for shooting for one in above us. Now who said you put in an accident? America for CNN for a positive. And in the war zone, what's your camera? So in reportage, you protect your own. Ghanaians don't want to protect their own. Obi in Casagrana where we know and yeah, but I had the Siamayan. Akolani dear, Nebusha for the chair, maybe Akolani tea. And the East Legon 4, Mamma found the bridge. Mona Jane said, Munsa Sumachi. More than planning Costua, no mutia Nimuhono, Munjai. It is so offensive in this country. And I'm more man also catch us a mark or corner tumno. Almost take care of no my your own good dashboard so.
Almost a front now.
And yeah, the children. Can you pimana woman as so Ankolan front?
Okay.
Because media make accident they see yet. Nyami de nim de beba. But Ankola way antina front. He could have been injured.
Me papa ne kasa no so no on from not teach but the
anti the anima men be kan esa kwala front. Whose own should we believe? Do you see? You see, you are correcting it, but that is what has run. Now, me say, me who be believe same conform back to front.
Front, but if we say same way, see me so.
Except police chill. America, who see free play? Now we need babysitter. Oba unvanin go $5,000 straight. Oba, I bet me crown was serious so. Who need car seat? Emma Colana, you better charge you. I crown in the car cause he trade at the end. So then he is supposed to be charged under the law. As a train bower, your bow will bush and for a car. Who nam zebra cross him? Naka bower, now who here jaywalking? You have too many things we are living unattended to. And the young form Grace, Oman Lewis is a breadwinner, he's a proprietor, he's a leader. When he goes down, most businesses, when the leaders go down, it goes down. A year now. Ya mamu yako ya de ya disua nyina but Lewin so nyame na wonde number back the fact so called premier no and just said the team was there but unfortunately no it was the clinical state of Lewin. The doctor said you can go. He didn't Sonny Badu come on stage to sing with his leg injured. Is he only Lewin? I bet you pay Ghana for manum tum
samanga
I mean chiamoka
na you was here hunsem bebre
ubusuani ni lewe anka ubeda onyankopon ase se krama mu fie ayeye mu fie krama ayeye obi aso na Lewin and I play go show be blogger be say he wanted the flesh blood to do what say mom penny pay and now me here fiti enu amen daye me chinsa no pay amaba amefa show history or chirensi ene na bibinsi ade na motesa na me tua mo ka ba ko amunya bi mpa manipa
te pay be ka counselor kra no
na wonu moja say ya and am dey tell say medical papa ni choni o be see ene blood bank here bre esase ye cast despite enu moja oyi ni se fi moja ho obi amaye moja bi wo kuro mu a ade bodam focus obi anje na Ghana for gitu mu eyampa ekunafo omo makoko bio but he's still rich.
Ekunafo de nyina
wajai was he anything with the blood he won't do
Chop up any empire. I saw crap at the Joshua.
I see.
I said, Obi and Kebiamano.
Young to change and I have been a choir.
The Sian said, Bebow. So when you added to other shaman, Sian baby film. You see third parties who are needed. And Crophobia, you see me a third party. Last year, Guamba, Michela Branch and I said, Yabu and Crophoa, almost Kaya, what the any relationship. Only a necessary evil. Only a necessary evil. Not just say, oh, yeah, Danya, almost bata, a grono. Now, obey saying crampo, and a sound crop for no sono, what bombarding ama amontina biano, and what bamfa so, now so andani how amount. And yet, bubon crofobia breeding. And I'm a camera because he said, if you have a friend, make sure that the party around you is not a bin basket, but a shredding machine. Bin basket, he said, oh, yeah, paper. Now they a good baller container. We boom baller chains. Salam friend.
Yeah.
Your back one. What is share machine man? I a jurna a pichan blowing and say pichan basa. Won't mean for NCC. All those some people can do a more better. And I'm so you nipo a shredding machine a wow. And you be I told you so. Same see and as me catch on now tea yanka and tinimunkrofasa. Obia odi addition in sema. Uncle Casse say. Me cancel say encrophobia will help me a third parties. And you na your mobile. They are part of the marriage. We are then. Or you wasiba. Or you wasibema. Wasibema last born or you 3 years now about you. Say see our wali 3 years. I could already we did 6. And I collide with that monkey stage, you know, about fear. Instead of so tenacity, no, we work out, you know. We are then. That's a brother-in-law. That is a brother-in-law. Wait, I don't found, but you came to meet a brother-in-law who is 6 years old. Now some kaya day. He threw tantrums. He behaved. Now you didn't be feel what. Who I want to mean Tiano.
Brother-in-law, that is a ukuketua. What do you mean when you go to?
Now so what to mean Tiano?
Hey, and
your retirement baby.
And our partners walk over one day. Baby, so bad the way I know.
Maybe I will be Obama. Maybe I will need a claquetuano. Your mom quatinting the shadow. No matter where you have that child.
Into be out.
And to shall Bible say, na Bible dear me po or say na Joseph no ye or Banisana ye pen asemsa or say son say or yabofra or wo no ewo nim penin fiemu. He loved Joseph because he bore Joseph at his old age. And to win do baby, at least actually so to say system wo back count retirement baby.
And no Irene be one.
So you didn't to me for be available. Or be available, make sure say or bow in the when you mumbai effect. And so who want to bread and to me walk a bread. And the foot of the Father's Day never and yet they will fear near bomb by the wabon so yajitum. Bema would do where you see a fe. Yanko. The American said, third party ya can asema muki. Eti, oh brother-in-law abefihon or ya ketwa, untmin tiano. And I would tell one man, I tell you, crowd, but penny is in penny. So this one, he's part of the family. That's a brother-in-law. Then that is where you say, how do we manage or handle third parties that really are needed in the marriage? So in-laws are third parties, but they are needed as a result or default of the marriage. So factory settings, once I wale me dear, who initiate me ya be ma ba ko shi wi asisi afa na team or ye na je kwa adayi o shia o kroma sister na on call me sister jadi o no on call me I am abet
na bet e dey be abet
I am abet o minya panyi ni George o kru nua ne me ah sister on kai o na so kai se o na sina mi na me shi nkonua no nkonua she emia me brother you na gina we
ni na we se onya ho abotre
me brother you na gina we na wo ko mate abet se bako de na sister wo ko sa sister wo ko sa
so bibi ma no
e ma boys na Remember boys no. Was you have a brother-in-law who is acting mental disorder symptoms because of drug abuse, but that's your brother-in-law. How do you manage such a person? Me mate back one aboard down was circle. Be see only me. You go school na dey ba no jai. Me di track no aba. Or bad word in sabo. Literally. It's not fine today. Get me something to eat. I won't buy drug. No. You, I know you are a pastor. Your money does. Look at the boy. Or second, you can go and buy me food. I'll eat. And I know crystal. So what do you want to eat? Now me Friday, now me Tomana obedi. Me school time. And I say, where your ex-boyfriend? Or your ex-boyfriend? No, a shall no clue traffic. And fear me fear. And fear like if you don't come me, many a list of one here. Yes, Okroniana.
I just want to hear me to so that power.
On Casap, if you don't come me, a stone,
Your very own stone.
now, could now when you well, Baba, you for me, Sakwas is that now you know him. But on your boat, so that's all.
And they didn't be so boss. See, I am
to be afraid.
And crash. Said me, if you are not happy, I would be share Adaka.
Yeah, Linda will be any. No, but Linda. Linda. There are people that you, by default, in your life, in-laws are one of them. All schoolmates are part of them. You didn't choose your classmates. You didn't choose them, but they have come. So when they are in your life, how do you manage them that they don't affect your relationship? So as I'm talking, you find yourself on old school union page, like I said last week, and they are discussing you and a certain guy who never got married. And the guy went into marriage and marriage didn't work. And yours is working in public, but disconnected in secret.
And this one will be
outside gentility.
Sister, you worry.
Cry.
And so not just a fear the hour.
Is it only 6? I keeping up appearance.
And we are
6. I got 6. Said that prediction now. Me and Crawford 12. And I'm on my boldness. I come back home. Back with the Bijinati.
I couldn't say, yeah, go say, who you. Wow. Medical and fella.
Medical, they go 9 days after marriage.
Okay.
When they got married 9 days exactly, then they saw that what I said was right.
No,
Now, why? If I'm home, I want to because medical is a good person, fella is a good person, but who brought them together has done them a disservice. One day, but they can say in the first place. So you have people who are part of the marriage. You will be me can last him as a maid of honor. Maid of honor who choose you. You introduce as your best. Your best man, you introduce him as your best. So if you don't take care, they become third parties that they are indelible in the marriage. How do you manage them? So I'm going to manage this 4 so you can just open your phone lines. First one are in-laws. Now hear me. Every in-law is present because of who you are married to. So you can say in-law. The word is that there's an in by law. So now what do you fear? One mommy, I am my mother-in-law. But ye didn't come out. Oh, mammy, ye law. Now one day in wo. 81 banka. Oh, mammy, embe sumiso. So if I want to operate with any of the laws, I need to go through the in, and you are the in. So I will never operate with the law without the in. I don't know, Central 40 them. Oh, ye biano. Me ni who quite say, medicine community, just a foul so. It mean, I mean, master bad your minutes and a son, my sorry. Mammy, I mean, ya be down as I see soon, you make clue, mammy or the mammy. While you're good, now so who keep your appearances. Because under no circumstance should you operate your life through your mother in law. You don't have to. Or baby, or any mother in law, you're fine, or your or your bar. And the last week, me say, one of the things you need to know is that we have a wife and a woman. You can be married and act as a woman, but still married. One day we'll discuss that topic extensively. So if you are a wife, you don't have close relationship with your mother-in-law. But if you are a wife and you want to be a woman so that your mind will be on things, then you befriend your mother-in-law. So immediately you realize that your wife is close to your mother more than necessary. She's no more a wife but a woman. And that is why she's seeing herself as a daughter to the mother-in-law and will want the mother to manipulate you through her. So my mother talks to my wife, whatever I say no, my wife discusses with my mother calls me and say, now so you can't ye kwame aden kra nye se nam tete wo. So before you say Jack, now wa o maame e de oyire enkra abrew. And you have, I see to say, if you say no, you are not saying no to your wife, but you are disrespecting your mother. Why? Because your mother didn't know how to manage the third party. So as a wife, as a husband who has in-laws, learn that to manage your third parties like in-laws, you need to use the in, and the in is me. So when your mother-in-law, my mother is not treating you well in the first place, how far are you? Hear me. If you are listening to me and now your mother-in-law, you feel it doesn't treat you well, doesn't respect you, check your distance between you and your mother-in-law.
Distance?
Yes.
What distance means?
Parameter set. The first distance is the in. You have bypassed the in and you are dealing with the law. There should be a distance, and the distance is the in. We have left the in and we are dealing with them. And I mean, listen to me. If you marry a man who comes to leave his mother with you in the house and travel, he has destroyed you for the rest of your life. It is an error to take care of your mother-in-law. Yeah.
Maybe also mother-in-law.
Well, if your husband is not qualified to marry you and provide shelter, when he's traveling and says, go and live with my mother, rent a kiosk and live inside with the children.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, no,
I know you're buying. And yes, in the first place, no, Mrs. Lutrot, a master's registered slave. MRS, master's registered slave. And this slave is not a slave to my in-law, it's a slave to the husband. So you serve, you know, say a wife serves, a woman takes care. Eti me say, ukunu walo, no kotrani maame ho, na watwi mienu mpo a, wabu animtia. Na wo tu kwenja wo. Na wo frɛ ne Bible. And I mean, it's better for you to find yourself in your father's compound as a wife, all right, sleeping on the bare floor, than to live with your mother-in-law in 7-bedroom house. You can be angry, I don't care. No, I don't care. That you can live in a house where your husband has traveled and want to give you money, and will send your money and the mother's money together. And then the mother will go and change it from euros to cedis and call you. Efia, bako there.
Me family and count na me.
Now penny efia.
Me dey na bodin foforo because me dey me mom dey me mpene.
Lenda. I will put on channel omubu ba. Emefa. Eti sesia na doji esaniska. Osani 20 million. Osimidia 3 million. Na me mamo 17 million. Enti mama branche na ko yia basisia. Enti
send 2000 o mama fa 3 million pe. Na mama na ade 17 million e ma ayere. Na sani asam kese na abe. 17 million me nuti fia ha ye nu aduane didi na ade 17 million be.
Obeto anko bono so. And anadoji say enkwala no bicycle bi asem until ka say eno eye 10 million me ensano until ka say papa na oton bicycle no ono nso oba ne anjima nkwara na o mani nka fie na o say o ka say cylinder bi nso etinas. So I'm telling you where the third party has been destroyed and distorted because you are nice with the third party. So your husband is using the mother and making you a house girl because you're living with her. Oh my God, it will happen. My mother is the best mother in the whole wide world, but she can never be a wife to me. My father will love her forever, but me, I pray. My wife is not a topic for my mother, and she knows it. That is why Danny Mekacho said, if we go to my family house and my mother is in her kitchen, My wife doesn't cross the corridor to go and greet her. She washes her hands to come and say hello to my wife because the kitchen is a boundary. So if you want to manage your in-laws at third parties, mind the distance. Mind the distance. Too much phone call. And I'm sorry, I'm paying. Now, what you may see me, Tim, let me say, my friend, one child pa be say, Bibi Abacor, dear. Or be glad to me soon as say, Bahon die. Man, I'm a say, and pie bar me bar my chain. Say, see, I'm a son that be, na me sorry, cry, na me soon. Na me soon, and Yamini hene, man, Yami pane him. Me be a near assassin, Yamin to me. Me hear and did you say, fool, and I miss you, oh, yeah. Hey. What's so that pa ako kanu kwan bone so sa nti na ne be ye ma mpa ya nyame betwem trust some say no yi kire so a no bedane nti obedane. Mind you have set a bomb for yourself. When you phone call no to ha no friend baba panyin sister-in-law hey ya fo tie die si kwa me yire na so da yesi ano no be bon komo so da yesi ade da mfun e no no su kwa me yire ben no ne maame waso no ho da
eh yemra ni ko si yemie phone lines o
mumbie wa na mo anya ade asaje ajuba yi
some o kere yemie phone lines we every system because we no ba di so chire wudi ni mi
anya hwe but the first thing is that you want to manage in-laws manage them with the distance.
Distance another one. Now you're intimate content.
Oh, the next one. Say, we are bandits. Some kind of bandits. The next thing you have to do. Why a band? Now bandits in Yamawo. Ebi na more examples here. Obi mente. What should I do? I am well. But I say you can.
Yeah, ni so account. So on you fine.
That is why I'm saying that if there's a distance, such dreams you forget it.
Yeah.
And who forgetting your word? And you're fina. Never for money champion. Never for money champion.
Right, yeah, for offer for back one man some but you didn't baby akase free. Hello. Yeah, we didn't baby akase free.
Yeah, Nana
You Nana Yankway.
Okay, my counselor aircraft when you say I would say medical or fire can but I definitely doctor family that's like Marshall. I mean, it's a thing. But I want to get the idea or talk later. Now, what I perform to a year, counselor, wash it, near number one. Medical or the year.
They are nam suninti Bema to boss. They are nam. They are nam sunti nam jonko pachon. Why?
But oh medical camp on. Oh medical camp on.
No, you are not
Miss my Miss G the any be on.
Sister Tim. Or camp ni camp. Question ya bisa medical question be. Fela Makafo wish you well. It is a 10. Wish you well. Is there a wrong question?
Never.
Shut up, my brother. Bring another caller.
Never cry. No, it was a simple, question, harmless one. Maybe I told you, baby, I can say free.
Oh, I'm calling from
Okay, your name?
My name is Abu Bakari.
Okay, Abu Bakari. Your thoughts on our discussions?
Counselor, honestly, I was very, very happy with this submission because he submitted it very perfectly. Based on mother-in-law, you understand? And also, I have a question for Counselor, which is, you are married to your wife, you understand? And she has someone that she always go to class with. So the person always take care without you knowing.
Club.
Class.
Someone. Like you only the panel, almost now, the panels are full now with 1 or 2 courses. And she's a married woman. You understand? If you want the person knows, all class, one question is going to say, that particular guy, you picked him up at the junction on the way to class. Later, offering out, and at the final catch, their man said, because of the super, on catching, that means we're trying to show that before we're catching the or factor and some of our fault.
Nti ya wo se bia oni oba ne oni be ma ne obibiye.
I don't help him out with that particular.
It's your personal issue on. Cancer enkoy.
Asmo kan yansa wo ba oni abotre. Me yire obi e fanako or man lift whatever. No say of kafaka. De yansa we do adwuma mu.
So wa mo wa mane nipa no so fa de bia.
E fa ho. Obi fa de bia no mbo wa mane mo nko so mfa no. Hwe te say o yire ati uchobo e de e chuo susu. Onka e da susu ru anis kan bedwan no ba bo amane. Being a husband is being in charge but not being inquisitive. Uma bibia how? You say we adwumara. You say Area Sian, Dr. Sian, the owner of the whole empire. Na oti TV ho. Na oma rules and regulations. No afre CEO, ne afre program director, ne afre manager. Abranti TV so can sense munye say mama. No, he's not being the owner of the company. He's just being inquisitive because there's an organogram. That is why when somebody calls you at a certain rank, I'm sorry, he's my company, but it's difficult for me to go to that level. And this guy will have a case. But this is not anything that should worry him.
Oh, so on talk ma wo be your ban say so kwa wo bere.
Enu po kasa waka fun o ma ne lori fe.
Aka akire no. Me ba jo ni me kasa fe. Because me to on left bi bu aboa me some time ago my brother bom no. Obi ma me left sa solid for 2 years. Me fa ka ma adwuma. No be ma left I no so wa ware me e be case. Me ba jo udi ni ba bi aka sa fe o he be sere ho na ide. Udi ni baby akase free. Yes, a bicycle is so fast one free. Me ba cho udi ni baby akase free. Ebre ni honti ma hunya hamaye. Yo akosi ya da se ma enko.
So me ba cho no fe me ka councilor se papa idan se. Wa ma me si aya no fe. Efa in-laws. Na the sense na me ne be in-law ukokra. Na me si aya be. Na me nim se obi so owo ntin so esi aya. Ama me hu de be ni.
Aso.
Ba ni se me iku no be wa re no se de mo. Eni omo abodra. The bibi si ni na se na se ba akuno ye me ba no eku ma me no o se ta dia me hu se de me ya. Na ta ta che me ba no na wo se de ni ku ni de ho ko. Ezi ma de ni na me se kan so ye da si de bi na ti si
Amen. Amen. Yeda se pa mami yeda se wo so wasua bibi e wo ye
dwuma. The relation between in-laws and your topic bia be treaty once be pe am say
me say wa de nka wo san ka wo bia hwe bi because say de ma me ahwa wo no de be hu say de one obi betina no uti na ase wo kro no so ba no pese de no ho hyehyere na bia wo no so ma ne da ba yo baka say ma ase wo kro a kire no but no obo
so the team Lutrot against the team Lies oti ase ya ba mi fie ma nko
we say we na yi education ya me obi ono na ase wo ye fine panty say free and ekwe no as oba be mother
how to break the chain
and e say assume say
how to separate from the wrong. Once the topic I tweet ya tweeting we down and I am the say topic no the bar no makobo mpa no ma be tweet sa na tenyam na me de ba we topic we be start fi obi ehu yo and to follow your power Facebook our original TV now tie pa bo say stations na can na waste of time han say tie de bo obra tie me o eya ba mi fie mentimi anko na busuafo obi hia me a na say ye be fie na wontumi amba oye nso te ho ye de na me say for onu twutwu fom me catch any straight me say this is your first and last to make a demand that my wife attends a funeral that contains me. What do you mean?
Me ma no mo kuma mo ire no sa na
we man ko ma me me kuma me ho umbu me If you respect me, you won't tell me what my wife. Now you don't need to hold your thing. Hey, me supani sama me transfer me ebi momo. E command ni mame e wo fie.
Na momo diatembu so.
Utumi ye momo. Etimi ye sika mame e che ni sika. Me man 100. E call na su ya no frɛ me oh mbinu me ba be ma. Ye ne dem ko da hin dem se nya hwe. Ka kire adwa mansa se me nya ni tipen na me yiri mpo aye na danfo. O shia me kakem se man be yar na me yiraba. Kan se man no twitwi fom mo mbu ade na mte woro. O fa ni be yisem ni te oh me ba be ma me srawo me nkwatia ha shale pa ni me no afai papa ni chao. Na se nyam na pecho no. Wo me yira me nko ka hwe ba ye careful. Esili mahihye adwuma. Enti so me ye 20 degrees an common fa me yire ho a megunu. Asemu senior ko me yire din a hey
Ade enko ho.
hey etise wa wo bebre nyam abodanfo baako asawo baako de oya nyam sum ni wo kakra ye ma bebre
orensa kakra asem bo obi antimi ka no akwo.
enti mu fie ho no ye be fie na si hey ne ba no ho de wan baako no de ko Nigeria ba. Nobody comes to the house to misbehave. That's how God makes it. So I'm saying, say, you see, even within the two families, if you don't take care, they will cross over. If my wife doesn't attend any funeral, it's okay. I didn't come. I am your son, your family. Deal with me. But because I have not created the distance, they have the right. So I'm saying, how many statements, it's another topic on its own. Two in-laws. How do we manage ourselves so that we also not become third parties? Because they are third parties that the mandate is in between them. Fele busuan for, medical busuan for, asemesi. Now, fele nya be jina wa kase. Me maame mpo say that boy must be disciplined. Shut up. No matter your age, you are not invited. Allow the small boy to misbehave and leave your precious girl to be precious forever. So obi eni otimi tiano. Mummy come in channel. Okase eni obi otimi kebia. Debi. Don't do that. Because the family is respected.
Okay.
0277 609 6 Mati se nkrofobi se omo ko counseling school sense se na me kasa denti. Enye school na chire me e ginger honey chips. Makpe ginger chips. Uyu ya be kasa te se me no aniwade te se me. E dru amakoje 0277 609 644. Suya say, how do you manage third parties? Enkrofo amu hia wawade animu no. Kwan ben so na we sua. Sana ne ombe ya asetena pa. Na nkofa enimguasi amba. Na watwe se ne ye beto aso eso obi awo edin to no edin to kwa abone na ase ba ntem ese na ase ba the demand ba se ka kire okunu se mo ba na ma wo no momfa no ento me ade no anka kire ne ba no de fa so 0277 609 644 that's it yeah.
Councilor ma yemfa enchia so nkokora enko trasa kwa no pe yamfa nkoma Mr. and Mrs. Coleman omu free Germany na aba omu ba bedi holidays na omu ba yesu so omu kire omu so original TV de so ofeye pa no pe omu so omu te ho a omu hwe denden ti ma mu nyina mu akwa abase mu kwa mu sai ebe fiti wo fe free fa ene maame Emily oba ho fe papa bi yankopon hyiram no onye mu kese pa me call Germany no me wo fa ne yira me koso yo na tese se do mo ma me ni je no enya asem ke to mo ba yi kura tese ewie mu aye hye nti me kura me sumi nti me kura mfa mo nti ni bisa so minim so mo temase yi pa brereke so nyame ensure na wonye wo kese pa nti aha na ebre ebe makwai na ye di dwumadi na simiti wi so kama se kansa se efe enye efe se efe enye bad kura
me timi nka se enye efe
Evacho Eagles na obo edema me kama nti oba papa Esther nyankopon hira o se abibia o ma mitiri ho fe ye pa yemfa aseda emfa nkoma ye production team ye executive ye producer ye rapadade nti Sky oba so no a onu so ejina akono emefa mpacho na Dr. Fidel se aya obema metene nka wo ho ti Mr. Mpacho uwia na we make out TV so say be ya eba na yi a yebetimi ya minim so so de bi
ya ya fi there ya
ma meti ase
Kosi
me
ade
na
oso
me
nyame.
cheche nsem bia mu Sammy Richard obi a yeda mu nyina mo ase se mo po so mo apon me
Kosi ade safo.
Owa man ka sem na yi so mo apon me
Eza obe dan ka ha de ye you tem na go fa ase wamba.
answer yeda ase
Aduane ya dofo nkomo na ye
na
di
be
no.
jama me duane agyawo
Bate. Nkomo na ye di no wa nti ase ye hu ni yi a. E de ntokwa na eba. E na ntokwa nso de
yeah some komo ya me ko de me ya papa wasan kai
oh, you see, if you don't manage them, they will manage you.
Yes.
And when they manage you,
Me was an anke bi anka woni be man ntem no nka mo so betimi aware. Asem na oka na very very practical na very very serious. Very serious.
now there you say anytime
mistakes na but
that is where one day we will treat how to handle the mistakes of my third party. How to manage the mistakes of the mismanagement or any of the last section of this topic. How to manage my mismanagement of my third parties. I have mismanaged them. I have. Even among some fatun say, simply put, me wow. Me ma me pese etun bediya. Find a son in the kasa. Anya me talk to your son. But you never fast because I settle trap. Adwa
Ebimpo na oba npo na ntia ase so be chebeka so na
when he one can't me. He didn't speak to me. He spoke to my wife and told my wife, tell your husband to name the child after me. I don't name children. It's your son that names a child.
No, say the okan is so soon to me can't
No, so you know, I'm not the one. But you have built a certain relationship
with her, and
she has used you one time before for a certain explanation, and it worked. She has passed a message through you before, and it worked. It's manipulating the son through you, and you are enjoying the estate not as a wife but as a woman. Because if your mother-in-law can pass a message through you to your husband, then you are looking at a wife as a husband, but she's a woman to your mother-in-law. So you need to learn that distance creation. It is not healthy. That distance will cause you not to call them regular. That distance will deprive you of some things that they need to have. You could travel to where they live in Kumasi, but you will sleep in a hotel. It's part of the distance. And they will hear, say, Ube ye. Ube ye wa mekum. Na mekum ni ahunju de say wa. And they so called stadium. Na stadium hotel there. Obi hu say man say ba that stadium there. Ye be kan manako kame. Hande na ya maya.
Ye ka say sukra ma so baby oda ahomache woteta saa. Na je say wadeje nyina akodam.
Na de ye
be ni. Omo kan kire o.
Enya titani keke. Emri bi atwam. Emri bi atwam no. One makuma say oba workshop mpo na adwuma say original say the program bi abaye kotwa ho a you go and sleep there and save your hotel bill. Why now?
The first now we are to super sort.
Why now? And they can call a meeting. The third party will call. Are you aware that my God? Are you aware that a third party cannot invite you for arbitration? Yeah. It is difficult for my mother to call my wife when I take a complaint because she has no right.
Na a bit me about to say Becca so say Bibia Kosunti, ya free meeting, be our banner bushing for and I say Beman bushing for a free meeting. Munina some bit me up.
Obana bushing for a free meeting among Wimo.
Mamma Maware phone.
It should be in the presence of me, for because the in-laws can invite us, but not one side in-law. I will not go. When my father-in-law invites me, I have to go there with my lawyer.
Hey,
you know my lawyer?
My
lawyer, you see, I am an in-law.
Until you catch him, some of us.
Assembly abana. Na assembly ehia pa. Me yire na ekọ because papa say ohia me. Me could do on papa starting komodie we yire the assembly that way they were daroma. Me srew. Ese me bom busia fam. Enti wa daroma me sre kwai. I'll do. Because my father-in-law cannot advise me the way I should marry the daughter. Oh ho ho! You didn't rather say yeah. Hey, catch you for why? Just do what? That your father-in-law will call you and tell you how to marry the daughter because he contributed to the wedding.
Also, coaching plan what you.
Me yire ma fa me yire chi. No akobo ne ma ne papa amane. Na ne papa yi phone afrɛ me. Se opeso ni bi di nkomo na mema ya le ye we nyina ye ho. Me mbra de di nkomo. Onya me da kosi do bewu.
Yes, that's why I won't disrespect him.
I have disrespected him because he wants to set a boundary that is not needed. I am creating a distance. Hwɛ, me yire busuafo, omo hia me a. Kwa mo fa sanso no mo frɛ me Edin. Maasi ba be frɛ me a, ɔfrɛ ne baba no. Me se me frɛ ukunu. Se bere me frɛ na ɛyɛ. Enti de bia ne call beba no. Na ya ma me info dada. Ma pese frɛ wo, otimi frɛ na, ma ne frɛ 22 minutes time. I followed, what say, our dear no, enye democracy o. Our dear ye autocracy. As a man, you should be in charge of the home. No matter how beautiful your wife is, no matter how rich your wife is, no matter how educated your wife is, no matter who your wife is, if you are living in a house that your wife rented, still be in charge. You didn't send her to rent. But if you leave it, you destroy the woman. And once the woman is destroyed, the family, you see, the reason why we are in charge, and you won't you, yan sisi adie ni yen jina ho a, wo be se kwara ni nyina da ache.
Also, ebusia for me nyamu, we were meeting mama me time. And that's on can come more the papa.
Yeah, but didn't come away with the cheek. Now,
can person me DB
social media.
Yeah,
so it's a very simple thing. But that's a pass. If you are me, fear me. That's it. And Ukraine will be very simple. And Ukraine said, ye nimunti, and ye bisa. Na ye bisa so na den ye bisa. Ye bisa di obi enyanka o bisa. Esan say wonim na ukobisa onye bone ba wonim na yekobisa mawa hona ayete say waye bone kakra na bone na waye ne ye bone ben enye bone bia say waye bone bia bia ma me ne papa enkomo a ye di a wonti ase. The management of your third party is the problem. You are not really the problem. But the whole reason is the management of your third party. The third party is your problem. And it is your problem because if it is not because of this particular person, nanka wonso baby a woteno obia entumi emfa usika enye nanka ananya sa de kana no but a son say anye yedi ne ho agimunti ama obi de usika sikan nanka na yesi panyin to otena se na ohwe ma yewi nanka na se yeka nanka refo a ye ne ka ho. So create a distance. And when I say create a distance, I'm talking about a distance that you have to create between you and your in-law. And these in-law we are discussing here is not just anybody, but your husband's in-law, your husband's mother. And your husband's mother happens to be your mother-in-law. The distance is very important. So in the distance, I'm telling you that there are times that you can just travel from Original TV to Nima Junction in less than 5 minutes. However, they have planted speed ramps. They have planted traffic lights. They have planted pedestrians crossing. They have planted sharp curves. They have put speed limits. So when we are saying that create a distance with your third party, which are your in-laws, necessary people in the marriage, we are asking you to erect traffic lights, erect speed ramps, erect speed limit sign, which means a short distance from here to Nima Junction, which is supposed to take you a maximum of 5 minutes, is taking you 10 minutes because you have created a lot of hurdles to be jumped. Hello. So I'm saying that the first thing that manages your in-law is your husband or your wife, who is the in and the law. So your mother-in-law, between your mother and the law is your partner, your husband and your wife. So if you want to create the limit, the first speed limit is your husband. So the distance that you need to create is as far as the marriage between you and your husband is to your mother. Yay, George Lutrot. Men kobiu na de on tema sentias me say ope say who created distance na me kano sene be ya awade no be konka enkan anam kan say sene be ya awade no be ko nanim na obia te ne ho ase na ankofa ne se wakase tia wase enti bra be pacho wakase tia ukunu maame enti bra na beyi wano ansa na ebesi saa no na kyerɛ sɛ wa mu no wani atra wonton ama wase ba anya wo ho kwan ama wase onkra ana your friend saying okrafo ana your mother-in-laws ama o mother-in-law a yedi ne ho nkomo no omo abaye unyanom. You have made your mother-in-law and your sisters-in-law as your sisters and your siblings. And that is why I'm saying that if you do that, it will affect the management of your third party. So managing in-laws within the circle of the third parties, the first thing you need to do is to create a limit. Create a limit and let the limit be created in such a way that even you, if you want to visit the place, the distance is so loud, so long. The protocol you have to follow makes it very difficult to easily access it. And when you create some distance from the beginning, it will not go down well with you because it will lead you on a lonely path. But hear me. Especially in the case where you don't have anything at all to talk about. You don't have anything at all that makes you run. You don't have anything at all that makes you become whoever must be. Then, but I'm saying the best of the night and the best or the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. If you're watching me right now as I'm speaking, and unfortunately, we added this restriction to your account. What this means is you can invite people to. Sorry, I just saw a restriction and I thought it was necessary to read it quickly before they take me off on Facebook too as well. So let me continue. So I'm saying this for you to know how to manage your in-laws in your quest to be nice with them. So manage them, because if you don't manage them, they will manage you microly. And in micromanagement, you become a burden instead of a blessing to the marriage. So these are necessary evils. These are people that are needed in the marriage circle. Your in-law, you cannot cannot disconnect yourself from them. Your in-laws, you cannot fight them out of the marriage. Your in-laws, you can only restrict, but the bar stops with your husband. The bar stops with your wife. And for example, if you are able to tell people that I need your mother to join us in this house, I cannot invite my mother-in-law to come to our house without the knowledge of my wife. Even when it comes to birthdays and I want to surprise my wife, the invitation to my mother-in-law becomes so difficult. So I don't invite my mother-in-law. Hear the strategy. Because my father-in-law and my mother-in-law happens to be this great people who is difficult to access them. So that's what I'm saying, that if you create these boundaries, there are times that the boundaries you have created eats you up yourself. For example, there's in my new site where I want to start my building, there is this footpath that people easily use it to steal materials from the grounds. So I went straight ahead and I went to block it. I block it. Now, after blocking it, because it was a shortcut for the workers to go and fetch water from the back, immediately I block it without considering everything. Now I am buying water from a longer place. Even though the theft has ended, nobody comes to steal, nobody uses that path to do anything. The new thing I've created, which has brought me peace of mind, is also causing me some level of inconvenience. So if you are dealing with a third party like in-laws, whatever measure you put in place will affect you. However, the effect of that particular initiative has a long-term effect on your mental health and the state of the marriage. And one I can't be the bisan. Because you see, as your sisters and your, because you see, if we don't come to a point, share the page for me. Those of you who are watching me, a third party in marriage can be a blessing or a curse. That's what we're discussing. Please share the page for me and let's do it together, because if we don't do it together, nobody would. The reason is that this topic of managing third parties that are needed are topics that anytime we are discussing, it takes a deep toll. And like the woman who called and said, I'm learning something because I'm yet to become a mother-in-law. And I'm learning how to even manage the in-laws of my daughter. A very, very brilliant thing that a woman said. And it's a topic that I have not treated again. I think I did it once either on Atinka or other stations. Because I remember that I was very vocal on Atinka, and then it brought a lot of waves for them. Was it Atinka or Adum? One of the places. But the owners of the job one time took a decision that they don't really want George Lutros again in the space. Not because I've done anything evil, but my statement, my ideologies, they hardly support what I do with their spiritual backing. And the owner of the company himself will meet you later in town and will ask why you are not giving support to his station. And as we knew, the producer be a for one say on money in Koyeso and now whatever it is. Let me to us so from where I am. So no crane say yanti and wasi na yankoyanim. So the first thing is create a boundary, create a distance. Let there be a limitation. And in the limitation, it should be done through communication It should be done through physical touch. It should be done through broader conversations beyond the walls of your home. So when you take such strict decisions with your mother-in-law, one of the things that you also have to learn not to do is to share the decision you have taken with a third party that is not within the circle of the in-lawship. So, for example, you took a decision to manage my mother, micromanage my mother from a distance. Micromanage because we can say she shouldn't come to the house. Your husband can invite your mother-in-law, and your say is zero. Yeah. So if you take a plan that now I want to be careful with my mother-in-law because I told her something, and she just went to tell the son. So now I realize that my mother-in-law, she's not worth trusting. So I'm taking a decision about my mother-in-law. I'm creating a limit about mother-in-law. It's a good thing to have it in your mind, but it is wrong to share it with anybody who cannot keep such an information. I get where I'm coming from. So based on these particular ones, it makes you look odd. It makes you look very, very, very bad. Because if the third party start announcing, bigger dear me say, sana biga amani ne na se ba anwa jo aye din a ontumi nkasa de nyame nko a o minye bi anka pa se ma se ba bemme mu sa o kasa ontumi nka bi minya anka ma se ba ye kasa chale onu so behu the importance of co-meaning again you know, immediately you get it like this. Immediately you get it like this. Then remember, say, Obi ko kan de yenka. Na Obi ko kan de yenka, sister, who be show. Me catch your pastor, who be show. Na eba ne se wo hu hwehwe a, ni ho bebo a wa yi ahu hwehwe na fi mu. Mba chote ase, obi ani ho bebo a. Esan se ya hwe ni yie na ya mfa ntu yie ni ampa obi obebo a. Yetim ho saa na wadane abwe bi. So manage them, and when you're managing them, keep quiet with your management skills. Enya afe na wo ba be kire de odi ade wo wase ba busuemu ayebisa se wan na ka kire wo a wakobie wa anu ankoka se mempo de enimi di nkomo ya nsoma me se membeka na ke ka se membeka anka enu be different ba ya nsoma me se membeka nti mesrem manu bokiti mumi enja ne ha mure mfi se mpo me ka se BBC. So that is one of them. And then the next thing I'm trying, the reason I look very distracted is when I see I'm distracted, it means I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to monitor my TikTok and see, is there any comment? So Yaba Brown says more fire. That's the only thing that has come on Facebook. And the way if you left, I needed somebody to help me with my goose. So I advertise and close because I am very, 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 very distracted with me not seeing the feed from my TikTok. But what I'm teaching you today is that managing your in-laws as part of your third parties, learn that you don't share outcomes of meetings that is proud to your planning to manage your in-law with part of the family members. So learn that one. So how do I manage it? How do I create that distance? You create that distance in a very professional way and on a very humanitarian path. The reason is when you don't create a proper path and you end up creating the barriers, it will become ineffective. You cannot set boundaries when your husband, who is in charge of the home, has already set boundaries that can run the home. So, for example, your husband has set 9 o'clock for everybody to sleep, and then you come back and realize that, Charlie, these 9 o'clock everybody sleep will not help me. So I will talk to my manufacturers and talk to XYZ, talk to this person, so that at the end of the day, they will come into the system to understand what you want to do. But this morning, I'm saying that create a distance between you and your mother-in-law. Use everything possible. Every human institution that must give you an assistance, do it and let it be done in a professional way. Finally, because I'm not getting the connection, I want to end my story here. I promise you today, the Friday, I will come back again to you with the same way of dealing with third parties. And at this time, I'll do a lot of illustrations. God bless you. Bless you. Makwe ginger chips is the H. Everybody needs Makwe ginger chips. Choose some wherever you are. The others are far from me. Drew back no actually. Call 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. From Italy, Milan City. Fuzi is watching me from Italy. Thank you very much for coming on my Facebook to watch me. I want to say that the most important thing is know your in-laws. Know what they are capable of doing. Know what they are not capable of doing. But in all, let there be limits because they are third parties. Good night, good morning, good Africa. MSP 30 is the H for women. If you're a woman and you don't take MSP 30, no dear, wala. Make sure that your MSP 30 is taken care of. Seriously. I'm coming to come and give you. Thank you very much for coming. And this is all about what I can do for you today. I'm doing this for you because I believe that one day, you'll find a way to do the same thing for me as well. And good night for coming quickly. And I am really excited to have all of you join me this morning, including myself. So a cherished good night to all of you. Good morning to all of you. And I'm excited that you've done it again with me.
Is bad breath distancing you from your friends? Worry no more, because NBF Gingival Gel will put a smile on your face again. It is good for bad breath, tooth decay, and gum issues. NBF Gingival Gel has antioxidant properties of vitamin C and E and soothing properties of propolis. It can also be used as a toothpaste. You can also mix it with water and gargle with it. Always remember that anytime we talk about bad breath, NBF Gingival Gel will be there to do the magic. For bulk purchase, contact Light Pharma and leading pharmaceuticals or call us on 0200-799-325 or 0267-569-764. NBF Gingival Gel, your new best friend for your mouth. This advertisement has been approved by the FDA. Is bad breath distancing you from your friends? Worry no more, because
I hope you can hear the sound of what I'm chewing. It's nothing but it's ginger honey chips. Ginger honey chips. Now in the United States of America, everywhere you want, 862-215-2007. You can chew it like this, or better still, put it on your cocoa, rice water, oatmeal. You can put it in your akpatashi, your whiskey, your brandy, anything you want to put it on it. It's so nice. So nice. Oh my God. Ginger honey chips, 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. It's your ginger honey chip.